Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me. This is Jackie at 333 Tarot. I'm going to be doing a spread that is titled, Are They Your Soulmate, Your Red Thread, or Neither? And I'm so sorry in advance. I do need to do a little chat with you guys before we do this, just so that you understand what we're even doing here. I'm actually doing this reflective of a lot of the comments I got, and thank you guys so much. You know, I'm a new channel, and so many of you are being incredibly supportive and so kind in your comments. But a lot of you, I think, are just really confused, you know, about your relationship or relationships you've been in, or you're just not sure, you know, where it's all at for you. So I thought this would be a really great reading to just give you guys some perspective, and I figured I'd throw it together before I got into doing my April reads. So what's the difference between a soulmate, a red thread? What is a red thread anyway, right? Not too many people actually discuss that. And then when I say neither, what does that even mean? Okay, well, first of all, I think most of you, if you're into tarot, if you're into self-growth and all of that, you've certainly heard of what a soulmate is. There are a lot of conflicting ideas about what a soulmate is. It gets flipped around a lot with the twin flame energy, right? I just want to say, I want to front load this. I have studied the philosophies behind the twin flame energy, and for me, this is my opinion, okay, so please don't come after me. My opinion is that it never made that much sense to me, only because it means a splitting of the souls, okay, and then they go off on their own direction, and then they reunite to become their whole version of the self. And I have struggled with this for a long time, and I've often thought it was because I have a Gemini sun, so I have two people inside of me anyway, every single second. So maybe I don't really need my twin flame. I don't know, but this is the thing. I do believe, first of all, I want to preface this with the fact that I've been a body worker for over 30 years, okay? I've done extensive work on how to recognize and read pain in the body, and within that is my training in trying to recognize the different types of love pain in the body, and this is absolutely possible. I met a guru over 25 years ago, and he was an incredible teacher, and that's where I originally learned of the red thread. So I do believe in this, you know, collective energy that we share, absolutely, you know, that's indicated with the twin flame. But I do also believe that we're all individually imprinted, and that we all do have levels of differentiation between each other, and that we do all have our own set of experiences and our own set of DNA that inflect how we feel, what we do, with the decisions we make, and the people who we attract to ourselves, you know. So that being said, a soulmate. A soulmate is someone who we have made a previous contract with in a previous life, and we've come here to rectify that contract. So soulmates typically do not last in our lives. They typically last for a season. Now, a season can be a month. A season can be 50 years. Okay, because, you know, this energy doesn't understand time. It just means that you have to figure things out then perhaps in your next life. Okay, that's your soulmate. You know, your soulmate is somebody who, first of all, when you meet them, there's a serious sense of familiarity about them. Okay, you have a lot of things in common. It's uncanny how quickly and close you become. And when you look at them and you're just sitting next to them, you have a sense of family with them. And not in a creepy way at all, but like, ladies, you know, maybe you'll feel like, oh my God, this guy could be like one of my brothers. Or guys, you're like, she so reminds me of my sisters. Like, this is the one where you're going home to your family and you're just saying, oh my God, they belong right in with us, you know? It's just one of us. And so things happen really quickly, and there's this sense of kinship, and it's beautiful, but it's very often laden with a lot of problems, a lot of issues, because your contract is to come here to grow. And that means that you guys are going to be pushing each other's buttons and pushing each other to places that are so insanely uncomfortable, making you feel types of pain that you never felt before meeting them. And this is the question you need to ask yourself, that on the other side of it, and even in the process of, are you actually learning about yourself? Are these situations forcing you to a place where you're actually really looking at yourself, you know? And once we learn those lessons, you know, if we learn those lessons here, it's very common for them to not last. And it's common for us to move on to even healthier places with those lessons in hand and gratefulness in our heart, you know? But there is absolute purpose to you guys being together. Then I want to talk about the neither first before I get into the red thread. So the neither is you're neither a red thread, right, which I'm about to discuss, or a soulmate, but rather you may be just addressing your initial soul contract and making your agreement in this dimension right here. So it's very common for you guys to be going through a lot of struggles, but this is the difference. You don't have that sense of familiarity. It's a very new and exciting thing for you. Very new, very exciting, very heady, you know, very heady, very passionate. Almost like a roller coaster, you know, throughout. This is usually indicated by a significant amount of up and down, in and out, we're together, we're not together, you know, and really even trying to figure out what lessons it is that you're supposed to be learning together or from each other at some point, okay? So the soulmate, you've met already in your past life. There is that familiarity. You guys have the soul contract. And something very instinctively is very clear to you at certain points where you understand the lessons that are supposed to be learned. But if you're in this neither state, it's extremely confusing and things just simply do not make sense to you quite yet in this realm. And then we have the red flame, which I want to spend a minute on. Okay, so it's a metaphorical, obviously. It's a visible thread between two people who are meant to be together. It's an intangible string of fate that destines two people to be together. And you guys are bound regardless of time, place, or circumstance. It doesn't matter what color you are, what religion you are. Age doesn't really matter. Like, none of that matter. None of those societal restrictions that would typically be in place matter at all. At all. You know, and we say the string is red because red is, you know, the color of love. Yeah, okay, yada, yada. We all know that. But it's also the color of the root chakra, right? Which relates to earth, impacting our, you know, our vitality, our passion, our survival instincts, you know. It's our need for logic and order, physical strength, sexuality, you know. It's even our sense of smell and our sense of like fight or flight, right? And when there is an issue in this particular area, you will typically have issues with, you know, tight hips, lower back pain, perhaps sciatica, things like that. When there is an issue going on with your red thread, these are very common physical manifestations that end up coming to the surface. But what is it? Okay. It is, okay, first of all, it's an East Asian belief that the gods tie a red string at the ankles of those who are meant to be destined to be together upon the inception of their soul. So it's based on a proverb that's pretty much I think it's a beautiful little story. I'm just going to tell it to you real quick. It's very simple. You know, this is a proverb that's based more on being bound to someone, right? Rather than finding that other half, which would be twin flame, or finding each other to satisfy any sort of soul contract. So the story is, walking home one day, a little boy saw an old man reading a book, and he asked him what he was reading. And the old man said it was a book of marriages, and told the boy that he was destined to marry one girl. And when he introduced the boy to the girl he was to marry, the boy didn't like the idea because he didn't want to get married. You know? So he threw like this big rock at her, real gentleman. He threw a rock at her and ran away as fast as he could, right? Typical guy. No offense, guys. But years later, a marriage was arranged between the boy and one of the really beautiful girls in the village. But when he unveiled her, he noticed his bride-to-be had a small scar over her eyebrow. And when he asked her about it, she told him that a boy had thrown a rock at her as a child. Right? But they didn't recognize each other. They didn't have that sense of familiarity, even though they did meet in that particular dimension in that lifetime. Right? But yet they instinctively knew that their union was very fated. So what happens when this string tangles and knots? What happens is destiny's going to take over, and in time, everything's going to fall into place. But it's just important for you guys to understand that just because you find each other, it doesn't mean it's going to be all, you know, butterflies, unicorns, and roses. It's still going to take work. Okay? You know, staying together may not be very, very easy for you. Okay, because this proverb is meant to instill loyalty, devotion, and compassion. Okay, so the string stays in place to ensure that you guys remain faithful to one another. And that's a big caveat, because if you're in a situation where your partner cheated on you, they are not your red thread connection. Okay, because that does not happen with red threads. This string is infinite no matter if the person is in your life right now or not. The thread is there and it remains there. There'll be times when, like mentally or physically, you guys will be separated, distanced somehow. You know, maybe you've had struggles and you're broken up right now. Or maybe somebody had to move away. Maybe somebody's in prison. Maybe somebody's at the, you know, and you know, serving overseas, whatever the case is. But the thread remains. And it's commonly believed that these invisible threads are put on us by spirit at birth, you know. And as we progress through life, the strings become a little tighter and tighter and tighter, drawing us closer into the life of the person whose life is destined to be in ours, you know? And it's very common to not meet this person until you're a bit older, you know, because it takes time for that thread to tighten. And also what's very important too, and this is what's believed, is you can only meet your red thread connection after a period of self-growth and self-acceptance. It's not until then. You can meet them, I stand corrected, you can meet them prior, but you guys are not going to be able to get to this beautiful space of just complete, it's just this complete happiness, okay? Because this red thread equates to liberation. And it's a soul waiting to catch up to itself. So it's really quite beautiful. So now that I went on and on like that, I'm going to get into a 3-card spread, and I need for you guys to ask a specific question right now, and seriously, you have to do that so it can catch your energy. I want you to ask, is, fill in the blank with your partner's name or the person who's on your mind, is, fill in the blank, meant to be in my life? Or what role is, fill in the blank, meant to serve in my life? What role is, fill in the blank, meant to serve in my life? And I want you to ask this question 3 times. Is, whatever your partner's name is, or your ex, what role are they supposed to play in my life? However you want to ask the question. What role are they supposed to play? What role do they play? Okay. There we go. All right. Okay. Picking the cards with my left hand. Okay. I'm receiving. I want to receive my left hand. I'm going to do 3 rows. One, I don't know which row is for what. I'm going to be marking them in a second. One will be for a red thread. One will be for soulmate. And one will be for neither. Okay, you guys see the 3 rows. So as we go along, I'm going to read each of the rows, and before I do, I will turn one over. If this person is supposed to serve that particular purpose in your life, we're going to get the yes/no cards, okay? So let's start with the top. This top one is soulmate, okay? So if you pick that top row, you're wondering about soulmate. Page of Swords, that's a yes card. Judgment is a yes card. Justice is a yes card. So if you identified that row as a row that you resonated with, your partner is absolutely your soulmate. So let's talk about those cards for a second. We have the Page of Swords. Your partner might be a little insensitive and a little immature, but they're very intelligent, you know. They're curious, they're quick learners, they're very charming, they're very good company, yeah, very good company. And then we have Judgment. So it's time you guys come to a decision, though, about your past. Positive changes and opportunities are definitely ahead, but you can't achieve those until like certain issues are addressed from your past. So this process, though, is based purely on how you judge yourself, and they judge themselves on past actions and attitudes, you know. So if you both feel that you've each acted with integrity, given the circumstances that you were given, you got to talk about that. If one of you clearly did not, you got to talk about that, you know. You're entering a new phase of your relationship, different from where you've been. And I do get the energy here that there may be a need for reconciliation if you've been apart, you know, which is good, right? Okay. And then we have the Justice here. Past mistakes are going to be addressed, right? This will be beneficial if you're both accountable, honest, and you're both feeling, I don't know how to say this. I'm going to say in want, but both feeling deserving of the honesty. But most importantly, on a very spiritual level, this energy indicates the working out of karma, which is exactly what I was saying the soulmate is, right? It's actions and circumstances, you know, and these are contracts that you guys made a very long time ago. So this is an especially good period you're entering into if there's been a lot of chaos, you know, involved. And this also indicates to make sure, though, that your emotional needs are being met, you know, which is really important when you're dealing with a soulmate karmic relationship. It's very easy to forget about our needs, right? All right, so let's see what this next row is. And this next row is going to be a red thread. Okay, so if you pick this middle row, you have a red thread relationship. What? Oh my gosh, guys, look at that. That's beautiful. That's just ridiculous. Ace of Wands, King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. I mean, could you mirror each other more? Oh my goodness. Okay. Ace of Wands. You guys have either, I'm going to say either recently met, you know, in this life. You know, just like that young boy and girl met, you know, when they got married. Or you're having a new beginning in your relationship, right? It's also very possible that you're about to meet this person, that their energy is right there. It's like when you're alone, you can feel it. This becomes a very tangible energy. You could just feel that you're just so ready in your soul. You're so ready because of the amount of growth that you've done. Because remember, you can only meet your red thread after a period of self-growth and self-acceptance. You have to have that level of acceptance in there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and then we have the King of Pentacles. So, listen, this person you're dealing with offers security, loyalty. This is a person who will work hard to make your relationship and life work together. They really value security, and they want you to feel that. And they want to feel settled. It's very important to them. They want to feel settled in your relationship, and they're very protective. There's somebody with very clear boundaries too. They can be a little bit jealous, okay, but I'm not getting a problematic vibe regarding that. But they absolutely believe in making the most out of what they have. Okay? I mean, that sounds like a ridiculous kind of catch. Yeah. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. Guys, this is incredible. This is just practical support. This is wisdom. This is being happy to contribute to the best of your ability, their ability. You just want to contribute to the relationship. You want to grow. This is a fertile energy, right? So fertility does not only apply to kids. It could apply to building a life together. It can apply to anything where there's a creation, with a life together, the relationship, a home, business, anything like that. Yeah, this is beautiful. This just indicates this combination here. Really good health, first of all. So important, right? Health is so important. Really good health. Fantabulous sex. Really good sex. Yeah. This is just... oh my gosh, my heart feels so full right now for whoever this resonates with, whoever picked this middle row. This is really, really cool. Good stuff. Okay. So, by default, we have neither. Okay? Let's see what we have going on. Nine of Wands, feeling the buildup of demands. Okay. All right, so just as a little refresher, this guy means, you guys are just working out your contract and your arrangements in this dimension, okay? So things are not going to be comfortable. So you're feeling the buildup of the demands. You guys have fought long and hard and are just really tired right now. You have each felt the need to be defended and defensive at the same time, if that makes sense. And this is definitely fear of infidelity, But the energy indicates it's not real, but it's more in the mind. Okay, there's a lot of insecurity going on here. Fear of rejection, criticism. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but there are more thoughts than anything real is what I'm getting. I just feel like you guys are feeling bad about yourselves. It's one of you or both of you. And guys, you have to understand in tarot, especially during reads like this, especially when you're close with someone and their energy, the energy can flip-flop. Okay? As I know some people are like, oh my God, this is so accurate, but I'm the opposite energy or whatever. Yeah, well, that means that the reading is for you, so they can flip-flop. But this I'm getting as a general sort of like coupled energy here. And then we have the Three of Swords indicates, betrayal. Okay. Either infidelity or, you're disloyal in another area of your life. So, this does indicate, just because the Eight of Pentacles rather is a yes card, and the Three of Swords is well, all reversals are considered no cards, but then the fact that it's Three of Swords also is an additional no, and then this is a yes card. So this absolutely indicates that, there is a positive outcome for you guys, but not yet. Not yet. It's going to be a little while. Yeah. Yeah. Because this, again, going back to this does indicate betrayal. Either infidelity or they're disloyal in another area of life. One of you are. You guys have or will get to the heart of the matter, but it's followed by lots of drama and fighting. But the positive here is that at least feelings are being expressed, no matter how. You could be like screaming your head off at them. massive mega fights, whatever, but allowing some of the confusion and pain to be shared and released just does you a world of good. Like, your friends and family are going to understand you need to vent, right? And then we have the Magician. So you're going to have the energy and strength right now to create a new, more positive new beginning in your life, because you're absolutely going into this period of making lemonade out of lemons, for sure, okay? And for whatever reason, you guys are really going to have the strength right now. You'll be able to tap in and make the most of your skills, your focus, your personal power to make smarter and more informed choices for yourself, right? So you're going to be connecting with your higher real self and will act with pure intention. And we throw those terms around, but what does that mean? I mean the real and beautiful you. You know, you're going to look at all your ugly right now, and you're going to know that it's not who and what you are, but rather what you allowed yourself to visit, to satisfy a part of you that just didn't understand all of this yet. That's how we end up in these crazy ass relationships where we kick ourselves in the pants saying, I should have known better. I'm a smart person. You know? And we beat ourselves up. We beat ourselves up. But don't, because there is a lesson being formulated here, guys, for sure. Yeah. I mean, the cards indicated I didn't get all no's here. You know, I don't know if I remember to do the all yeses for the red thread. I think I got so excited over the positive side. But the soulmate and the red thread got all 3 yeses all the way across. You guys got this double no, but you got these 2 yeses. But I have to tell you, the Magician being a major arcana, that's a very important yes. So I'm feeling you guys are in a space where you're creating some sort of contract now in this life. You're going to have to work it out at some point. It might not be in this life, and you may hate what I'm saying right now. And I am sorry, but that is what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. You know? Yeah. But don't beat yourself up, right? You let yourself be something to get into something that you didn't understand yet. But if you understand it now, that's going to indicate growth, which is going to be able to push you into that next level. Now, this is the thing. With the neither card, you don't know what you are yet. But chances are, if there were lessons and something was being learned, but you don't feel all the way finished, this is the soulmate connection in the making. Yeah. And that's what I have for you guys right now. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this spread. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.